to my Sunday from today. I'm gonna have a mukbang, and today is Thanksgiving, so today I'm giving thanks for everything I have, and gonna eat stuff, you know, like I have this toast with sausages and beans I baked up, and I made a cheese and onion pie. Then I put together this little, it's just gelatin with a little bit of fruit, spiced fruit, with cinnamon, some sugar. And I have this drink, mandarin orange. And today I'm kind of confident because like our updates with the situation overseas in Israel is getting better, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that everything's going good. This channel is growing, and you guys are just so amazing. So I'm thankful for you guys, and I'm also very grateful for the life that I have been afforded, and you know, all the good things, positive things that have come into my life that I have received. So, you know, I guess there's a lot to be thankful, a lot of blessings to be thankful for, you know, and it's good to be blessed, right? So, happy Thanksgiving. And with that said, I'm just gonna start with my pie and add some toast to it. I guess I'll get a middle piece. But I wanted to review something. So the video that I wanted to review is a video that that a lot of you guys were talking about, the Cheesecake Factory incident. And I think, like, for me, it's like a event that kind of brought attention to the red pill, because like people don't usually come up to me, and this time it was like everybody wants to know, you know, more about what red pill people think, you know, like how do you behave in the real world. And you know, like for me, like I'm happy to have new views, and I'm happy to I'm happy that you came with an open mind. That's good. And you know, hopefully I'll give you some insight, and maybe tell you something you like. That's the whole point of me being here on social media. You know, all these socials, I come on here because I want you to like me. Like me. But so in all seriousness, the Cheesecake Factory incident was because a man asked this girl on a date. Something about his friend's birthday at a bar. They had a long talk, a few drinks, and he had the confidence to ask her out. And when he showed up, he had this baller SUV, and she wasn't ready. So he was like, okay, well, she didn't let him in to wait. And he's like, so you want me to wait in the car? And she was like, yeah, I'm not letting you in. And so he went back to the car. He had to wait an hour for her to get ready. And then she was like, well, I was working. And she didn't bother calling him, obviously, but he had to cancel the reservations to upscale place. Not an upscale, but like it was a nice place, you know, that you have, you can have the option to make reservations. So, so yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Oh, and she was wearing like their outfits. He was wearing like a little top, like just like a little shirt, you know, a comfortable outfit, and his hair was done. Her hair was styled in tight braids and a runway look, and it was like really, it was neon green, 80s neon green, mind you, and it was like Madonna cut, you know, like that old circle in the top, and it was obviously too small for her, and she was obviously trying to show off. And I think her outfit came out as, you know, boring. But you know, like when people look through the things and they look for things they can get away with, but I don't think like you should be exposing yourself that much, especially just in broad daylight for random people to see for no reason. But you know, it was a look. I'm not gonna lie, that's her. She must have spent something on that look, and I guess she felt like it was like a nightclub feel aesthetic. You know, that's what she was going for. Let's try this onion and cheese pie. That's really good. So they get in the car, you know, and she has matching hot pink lip, and they're almost there, so she starts filming, or she might have filmed the whole time, but he's like, hey, you're filming? And she was like, yeah, I'm filming, you know, for my girls. And he was like, well, hey. And she wasn't really happy to be there, but she wanted to, you know, film it because she's a dating coach. And I guess she was just commenting. She wanted to do commentary on why she wasn't feeling it. Allegedly, it was being live streamed. And so he comes around to open her door, and when she saw they were going to the Cheesecake Factory, she had already started making faces, and he already started questioning, you know, the worthiness of her. And she was like, you know what, get back in the car and we're gonna talk about why and where you went wrong. So he gets back in the car and he's like, okay, let's try this beans on toast and sausages. That's really good. So she starts talking about how she's too gorgeous to go to the Cheesecake Factory. Like, she spent an hour on her lip. So he's like, well, okay, why are you filming that? Like, he was just making faces like, why are you filming this? Like, obviously he felt emasculated, you know. And he was like, you know, pretty much very confident and very sturdy. Like, he knew what he wanted out of women, like out of her, expected, you know. And he thought that she'd behave enough to go to the Cheesecake Factory, and he liked her enough to go to a nice establishment, you know, in the first place. And even though she was dressed the way she was, he still went forward with it. So, I think, you know, I think things like escalated from there because she started confronting him about being chivalry, about how she had expectations of him that he was not meeting any of them, and she still was in the car. She was still dressed to the nines, in her opinion. And he obviously could afford to take her to where she had her standards met considerably, and kind of, I think, felt brushed off because he was spending Cheesecake Factory money on her. And I guess she said the word courting, which meant that she wasn't playing games out there. That she's into being in steady, serious relationships, you know, and, you know, was hoping that he found her interesting enough that he would want to invest his resources in her. So he tells her, okay, you know what? I feel degraded, you know, basically. And you crossed so many boundaries with me, you know, by just pushing me away from you, you know, like when you're on a date, you're like bonding, kind of like you're getting to know each other and interacting and communicating, you know, and this is kind of like giving more in depth, like how far you can trust them, and if you're on the same levels of, you know, about how you're feeling and emotionally, like, are you really truly connecting? And he was like, you know, I can't even really get you out the car to do any of these things. And in the car, before getting in the car, and when you pushed me back, you know, made me wait in the sun in the car, in my car, you know, it threw off all those red flags, you know, those are some signals, some strong signals. He said, I'm taking you home. And she said, wow. She's live streaming. So her ego was completely shattered. She got really, really, you know, smug and pompous looking. Like she had the worst, you know, smug face on. Like, wow, like, can't we just talk about it? Like, she controlled the whole conversation, dominated every aspect of the date, and I feel like she was, you know, I feel like if she wasn't emasculating him, she liked it. And I feel like that's a common theme with modern women. And with him, I think he kept trying to get her to open up and tear down that wall. You know, he was manually like picking at it, like, you know, you don't have to act like that with me. You can be yourself, be a good girl, and, you know, control your emotions. And she was like, well, I'm a woman, I'm emotional, and deal with it, you know? If, however I behave, this is how I come, you know? You asked me out, basically. And she was like, you know, she was like, you know, she didn't expect all the backlash, and she felt like he was like her type, and he had like so much confidence because she's so much taller and bigger than him, and he was wealthy while she was actually, you know, building a business that was pretty good. Herself, I mean, like, look at what she had on. A lot of people can't even get that because it's like, you know, VIP. You can't just walk in and be random people and just buy whatever you want. But she's up there, and I think what she was trying to say, a lot of feminists say, whatever a man can provide, I can provide. So you're forcing me to have kids, I can provide for them what you can provide. So we're gonna go 50-50. But when they say things like that, you know, it means you pay for everything, and, you know, and I keep and do what I want with however much I want, you know, like they control everything, just like she controlled the conversation. She controlled the entire rundown of what transpired, and she couldn't control herself. So in the end, I'd say, you know, she did have control over the entire situation. She did have control over how, you know, she portrayed herself and presented herself before him, and how well she would be received by him, her date. I think in the end that she controlled the you know, the happy ending, which wasn't so happy, you know, as far as courting. And so that's just how I feel about it. And, you know, I'm gonna feel different from somebody else because, like, you know, I'm sure a lot of people, you know, disagree with whatever, you know, I have to say about how I have standards or whatever of dating, or I have standards of living, or you know, everybody's different and everybody has something to say about it. I think they still kept in touch. I think they I don't think they wanted to see each other or expected anything further. I think a date that goes viral, I'm not sure. It sounds like fun, like if it was a good thing, but I'm not sure, even if it was going average, how long that relationship would last. So, and in his case, I think I think he expected like way less like sympathy, but also when you get like backlash like he did, I think it's very shocking because your world's like exposed and you become vulnerable to all kinds of situations, and a lot of times they're gonna be negative. And since she was the one who does this for a living, she controlled that part of the filming and the uploading and the posting. So I think that she didn't hold accountability for things that happened and transpired after that. And, you know, as vindictive as she became, she still had responsibility for that video. And, you know, they tried to find resolution within their own life. So it's crazy how one day can affect you for long periods of time. We're still going to be talking about it next year. In pop culture, you know, it's kind of like an example of, you know, modern dating, you know, at its peak with social media involved. And how things have evolved with technology. Should we all just, you know, start taping ourselves? Is everything okay, you know, to exploit? And then it comes credibility, because like, did she want a free dinner? Did she want a free dinner? Did she want free publicity? Was he just like a cute face for an ad placement? Was she researching? So, you know, being in the shoes that she fills in her profession, I'm sure she has boys knocking down her door. Him being, you know, HBM, I'm sure he has, you know, women like for nearly every occasion. But at base, we all just want to connect. We all just want to feel love. We all like the feeling of having bonded with our special partner. It's nature, I guess, but with nature comes family, and with nature comes legacy, you know? You gotta wonder what situation you really value and treasure in your heart. And a lot of people love being single, and a lot of people find that their future would be happy as single. I think it's important that we discuss these things, especially in the red pill space, you know, because then it becomes like a taboo, you know. I'm not like gonna be put in a place like and kicked dust over and buried and covered with dirt in some shallow grave over a label that, you know, somebody wants to subgenre me. You know, I'm not gonna be subgenred. The red pill is not you. And I think people, you know, they want to hear what they want to hear, but also take into account what levels of, I can say, intelligence of the people that in the past have exploited this manosphere, you know, before you criticize. Because, you know, if you're gonna critique everybody and just like put us all in a box and just, you know, dismiss us, you know, I think it's like picking and choosing who, as people, as human beings, can be added value and worthy. Like, all our hard work, you know, it's, you know, for all the people in the community that, you know, gather and we share thoughts. And, you know, by creating these spaces, you know, these concepts are mass shared, and I'd say that they're giving value, that they are, you know, quality lifestyle tips. If you take anything from it, you know, this is really good. By saying that, you know, these are passed on not to manipulate. These are passed on, you know, as footnotes, and to give you some good advice, or take whatever you want entertainment wise and do good. So that's it. Thank you for joining me for this mukbang. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you like my reaction. And see you guys again soon. Bye bye.